Welcome to AutoSens, the world's leading community for ADAS and autonomous vehicle technology development. We create best-in-class events, training, and information for the purpose of connecting the global community of engineers, scientists, and other automotive industry experts. We are joined now by Scott Rowlands, Automotive Product Line Manager at VIAVI Solutions. And Scott, welcome to AutoSens, and thank you for being with us.
It's nice to meet you, Carl.
Indeed, Scott. Can you start at the beginning here? Give us a high-level overview of VIAVI and just give us a high-level perspective of the company.
Okay, sure. VIAVI Solutions goes back actually quite a bit in history, and we currently have two divisions. We have a division that handles telecom products, and we're not here to discuss that. And then my division is what's called Optical and Security Products Division. And that has a long history. We were founded in 1948, and the name of the company in the founders' days was OCLI. And just little by little, we have been acquired by other entities, and today we're part of VIAVI. And we are a global provider of optical products, and we have factories in Asia and in North America. And so we serve pretty much a global market and are excited to be here and tell you about some of our optics that are useful in the automobile industry.
Yeah, we're excited to have you here, Scott, as part of AutoSens. Let's start with signal to noise ratio in LiDAR systems. So what is it? Why is it important? And how does VIAVI Solutions go about addressing it?
Okay. In an automotive system where signal to noise is very important, is the new emerging technology called LiDAR. And a LiDAR system basically operates by sending out a signal, usually a laser signal, and that laser signal goes out into the world, it reflects off of objects, and it comes back into the system. And receiving that signal is the signal. The noise comes from other sources of light, such as sunlight, headlamps, street lights, all kinds of other light objects. And in order to have good signal to noise, which is what the designer of the system is looking for, you have to filter out all of these other sources of light that you don't want. The undesirable light needs to be blocked before it gets back into the system, because the system is only looking for the signal light it's sent out. So signal to noise is very important for a LiDAR system. The way this is accomplished typically, and for almost all systems, is it uses a bandpass filter. And a bandpass filter's sole purpose is to pass the signal light and to block or filter the undesirable noise light.
So the integration of light shaping optics with bandpass filter coatings. So again, Scott, what's your perspective on that? Why is it important? And again, how does VIAVI Solutions see that going forward?
Okay, well, first I should introduce light shaping optics. And that signal light is usually a laser light, which is usually a fairly collimated beam. The LED may be a little less collimated, but that light doesn't, on its own natural ability, go in the right direction. And so that light needs to be distributed or diffused into where you want it to be, so you pick up the objects that you're looking to measure and sense. So that's a separate component. And I've already talked about a red glow filter. And we could integrate those two together into one component, which simplifies the size of the system, the complexity and the cost of assembly, and can help to miniaturize things, which is always important in this market. So by combining these various elements together, we can make the systems perform very well at perhaps a lower cost and a simpler thing in a smaller package. And so that would be very important.
Yeah, all incredibly important. Lower cost, smaller packaging. Joined by Scott Rowlands here for AutoSens Brussels 2023, Automotive Product Line Manager at VIAVI Solutions. And Scott, you actually have another solution that follows on nicely to what we've been talking about with regard to getting a wider field of view. Can you expand upon that a little bit more and tell us the latest there?
Yeah, sure. Many LiDAR systems and in-cabin camera systems are started off with fields of view where the camera field of view maybe is from 40 degrees to 80 degrees field of view. And what we're finding is that the system designers are looking for much wider field of views. And there's two purposes of that. One is to either make them more useful, where with one camera you can pick up more information and process that for the various applications in this market. And the other thing is that in the past, if you didn't have a really wide field of view, you had to use multiple cameras to pick up all of the in-cabin, or for like short range LiDAR to look at all different angles of the scene so you don't run into things. And it's the technology for getting the light where it goes has many functions, but one product that can help with that is, again, engineered diffusers, which VIAVI produces. Engineered diffusers can shape that light and get it to where it needs to go. And we now have solutions that we are offering to the market that go for anywhere from 100 degrees field of view all the way up to 160 degrees field of view. So it's a very wide field of view. And these are being offered in polymer solutions as well as inorganic solutions, which are much more durable and robust. And so we're introducing these really wide field of view light shaping optics, and that's kind of expanding the usability of both LiDAR systems that use a engineered diffuser and especially in-cabin cameras.
Scott, with everything we've been discussing, what are some of the trends maybe that are on the horizon that you see that we should be aware of in the months ahead?
Yes, that's a really fascinating question. And this whole market of near-infrared sensing for in-cabin monitoring for LiDAR systems is changing and advancing very fast. And some of the trends we see from the optics side is moving to longer wavelengths, such as 1550 nanometers. And that band is very important because it's more eye safe for high-powered lasers. We also see miniaturization of systems. We've already touched on that a little bit. The whole concept of going from some of the original LiDAR systems, many of them had many mechanical moving parts, and going to solid state optics is very important. And then I already mentioned that expanding the field of view is another challenge, but it's definitely coming. And we have a product that fits very nicely with that. We developed a product that we call low angle shift, and the problem that is being solved with this is that these optical filters, they're called interference filters, and they shift with different angles of light. And as you go wider and wider field of view, the bandpass filter is required to pass all these lights at these different angles. And in order for it to do that, and also to accommodate a natural physical property of these interference filters that they shift with light angles, we have found a way to make them shift less. And that means that we can narrow the bandwidth even more, which increases that signal to noise ratio. Bandwidth is a function of how much wider than the signal light is that you're filtering. And if you make it too wide, some of that sunlight gets back in your system or headlamp light. And so the narrower we can make bandwidths, the better the signal to noise ratio is, and the less shift with angle we can provide to our products, the better the signal to noise ratio is. And so we are working to accommodate these trends and are very excited to share with people if they have an interest in those products.
Yeah, so well said, Scott. And want to encourage all of our AutoSens viewers and attendees to connect with Scott Rowlands, Automotive Product Line Manager for VIAVI Solutions, and connect with the company as well on both their website and LinkedIn. Scott, want to thank you for being with us today, sharing your expertise and thought leadership. I look forward to the chance to sit down and do an interview again, maybe, 6 months to a year from now, and see what the latest trends are. But until that time, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
For more in-depth interviews like this, subscribe to the AutoSens YouTube channel and follow AutoSens on LinkedIn for more information about our world-class events. visit auto-sense.com. That's auto-sense.com. In Detroit, on behalf of AutoSense, I'm Carl Anthony.